Let's get on with this one small step for womankind. Why is it womankind cool? Because 6 women took a quote-unquote space flight. Gayle King is disappointed by the backlash to Blue Origin flight. Accuses critics of sexism. Oh, God, no. CBS host Gayle King responded to the backlash over the Blue Origin space flight. She suggested that the all-female crew was being held to a different standard than men who've been to space. That's because they've been to space.
Gayle King, you are officially an astronaut.
I can't even believe what I saw. When somebody calls this a ride, this was not a ride. What happened to us was not a ride. This was a bona fide freaking flight. I'm so proud of me right now. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
The journalist and talk show host, part of a historic flight that also carried Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, pop star Katy Perry, film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, and civil rights activist Amanda Nunez.
That's our planet. Oh my God, that's space.
I don't like that people are calling it a ride. A ride, you know, you never see a male astronaut who's going up in space and they said, oh, he took a ride. It's always referred to as a flight or a journey. So I feel that that's a little disrespectful to what the mission was and what the work that Blue Origin does.
The high-profile trip drew some criticism from those who questioned if the brief flight was worthwhile. King responded to the backlash in comments to Entertainment Tonight on Tuesday, where she compared the Blue Origin flight to the historic space flight taken by American astronaut Alan Shepard in 1961. There's a quote here that says, "Have you been?" I could almost picture her saying it. She snapped her head with it. She was like, "Have you been?" Hell no, we ain't been. We ain't got the bread to be spending no money for an 11-minute flight, Gayle.
And then my question is, have y'all been to space? Have you been in space?
I can't believe she would even bother with that comment. We know you rich, Gayle. Hey. Did y'all know Gayle King? You know she rich. She know Oprah. King scolded critics. Oh, she scolded us, eh? Quote, "Please don't call it a ride," she added, claiming people don't use this term when talking about men going into space. We duplicated the same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day, pretty much. No one called that a ride, King Shay. Why is she beefing? It was called a flight. It was called a journey. There was nothing frivolous about what we did, she added. You're absolutely right, Gayle. You went up the troposphere. I think they cracked that enough to be like suspended in air by the laws of gravity, and so they were floating. You know, there's a plane, I think it's for training purposes, but it reaches as far as that and it just flies for a long time. It's called the 0G plane.
They're giving us this little protected bubble of 0G to fly around in. There is no terminal velocity here, only the design limitations of the plane, and we're going to hit those pretty soon, along with something else, because when you're descending this fast towards the ground, the Earth approaches pretty quickly. Thank you, Neil.
Planes that allow you to experience weightlessness aren't that different from typical passenger aircraft. Most 0G flights occur on Airbuses. One of the pilots starts a sharp climb, lifting the nose of the plane up by 50 degrees. This is the pull-up, the upward approach toward the peak of the parabola. The plane peaks at 426 miles per hour during this maneuver, subjecting everyone on board to a gravitational force 1.8 times greater than what's on the ground for about 20 seconds. Once the pull-up is complete, the plane can finally enter the phase of weightlessness. The pilots gradually reduce the plane's engine speed as it approaches the peak of the parabola, and then it free falls. At this point, there's a brief 22-second window where the opposing forces of gravity and the falling plane immediately cancel each other out. Thus, there's weightlessness.
They didn't call it a journey in space because space would require y'all to wear helmets, in which you did not have.